I've tried countless times to put into words the adventures we go on and the situations we get into, and I just can't seem to do it. So we're going to show you. We're an international auction company specializing in all things vintage power, antique tractors, vintage cars and trucks, motorcycles, signs, and memorabilia. We're not just auctioneers, we're collectors with a passion for every item we sell. But it's not just about the items, it's also about the people. We get to experience, share, and tell the history of our past. Every day is different in the auction industry. You just never know what's coming next.
This time, we dig out some dusty tractors in Illinois, head back to Iowa, and take a ride in a brass-era truck. Alex and his team are in Waverly, Illinois, where they're getting the Dwayne Stone collection ready for auction. Dwayne Stone has collected and restored tractors for over 30 years. Over that time, he's acquired some unique pieces of history.
That's an SI Airborne. That's the one that they dropped out of gliders during World War II. They filled airports and filled in holes and so forth. And it's got the hooks on the back and hooks on the front where they dropped it out of the gliders. Some of them made it, some of them they used for parts. Done a lot of work for that tractor. But I kind of like it.
Dwayne also has a VAI case that was used during World War II to tow military airplanes. You have some tractors in town then,
Oh my God, yes. This is nothing.
What do you have in there?
What have I got?
Yeah.
You just wait and see.
This will be the first time that we actually go into this shed, so we're not quite sure what we're getting into yet. So it should be pretty exciting. So we get out of the truck and Dwayne opens up this building, and this building is packed with tractors. It is completely full, and they're real close together. There's tires down, everything's dirty. This wasn't our first time doing this, but each place you go is different and each place has its own challenges, so we just went ahead and got to work. So the goal for the day was for us to get all the tractors out of the shed and get pictures done so we could get everything done for the advertising that we had coming up and before the weather hit. The first thing we had to do was to get a tractor running so we could actually get things pulled out. We picked a Farmall 350 LP, which is kind of a neat tractor in its own right to be our pull tractor for the day. So Cody got the tractor running, and Dan and everybody got set up for photos, so we were able to get things pulled out, and we kind of made an assembly line to where we just pulled a tractor in our photographing area and took all the pictures, took any video if we did have the tractor running at all, and then it had to go right back in the shed when we were done. You normally don't see very many Massey 98 GM diesels, but Dwayne actually had 4 of them. So it's obvious he was a little partial to Massey Ferguson tractors. This probably has something to do with the fact that he was a Massey Ferguson dealer and had a dealership in Waverly for many years. So one of the Massey Ferguson tractors that he had was actually still in his original dealership. And it was like going back in time when we walked in.
Back in the shed, the team continues to pull tractors out. At the same time, Dwayne works to stay one step ahead, checking over the tractors and making sure the tires are aired up. The last tractor of the day was a Nuffield Universal, a tractor built in the United Kingdom. Production on this model started in about 1948. It's not really a rare tractor, but scarce in the fact that there are few in the United States. At the end of the day, the team has about half the tractors cataloged and photographed. They have just one more day to finish the remaining tractors, but there might be a problem with the changing weather.
So the next day we get back and we get one tractor out, and then it starts raining. So we spent that time to go ahead and catalog the tractors that are left indoors. So finally the rain stops, and it doesn't take long before we run into another obstacle. So we go to pull this DC4 case out, and of course the brake is stuck. So we have to sit there and try and get the brake to where it would release and actually roll. So we used an old trick to where we just tapped on the brake housing until it released, and finally we were able to get the thing rolling to where we could get it to our photo area and it wasn't in the way. So finally, after 2 days of work, we were able to get that last tractor in the shed, and it's always a good feeling when you're done on a project like that. Dwayne has done a really good job of collecting a variety of different tractors from all makes and some of the lesser known stuff too. It's going to make for a nice auction and hopefully a little something for everyone.
When we come back, we head to Iowa and find out what Roger's up to in Illinois. Roger is in Clinton, Illinois, working on the McMath collection. It includes cast iron seats, gas engines, tractors, and other antique items. There's antiques hanging everywhere, most of which have hung in the same spot for decades. Today, the team needs to get them down, photograph them, and catalog them for the auction.
They're working around the walls right now, so we'll get start over here and then work our way around. So you'll have a little time.
Okay. So I think we're about done out there.
Okay.
Good.
Robert McMath was an avid collector. He also was a member of the Land of Lincoln Antique Tractor and Engine Club, and was also a former director of the DeWitt County Museum. He must have spent weeks hanging all of these cast iron seats, hay carriers, and other antique items. While the others take down cast iron seats, Mike's digging in the storage closet.
What's in there, Mike?
All kinds of stuff.
Oh yeah, there you go. Some kind of grease.
Oh, without a doubt, I guarantee you.
Another part of the Maytag.
What are you on the engine?
Oh, is that full of igniters?
I'm trying to get this box light enough I can get it out of here.
It's full of igniters.
Oh man, got all kinds of igniters.
Yeah, whole box. Well,
Is that
that's
parts too? Is that magneto parts beside?
this is magneto parts beside it.
These igniters are used on early antique engines. Before spark plugs, these igniters were used to create the spark for ignition. A spark occurs when the 2 points are opened. Igniters are often missing from antique engines, and many collectors need them to finish their restorations. While Mike and Roger continue to sort, the rest of the team is busy photographing and cataloging parts. They just have one day to finish up before they head to the next collection. Back in Iowa, Alex is packing up items from the Dennis Powers collection. This includes a great selection of vintage signs. Some of these signs have hung in the same spot for decades.
We're busy getting all these signs down, packing them in, trying to lay them all as flat as we can. That way we can keep everything pretty nice. This is a really nice case sales and service flange sign. Super. So we're just packing everything tight to take back to the office. That way we can get everything cataloged and hung up and displayed for the auction. So we've probably got, I don't know, maybe 20-30 signs coming from here. I think we've got models like this. There's probably 5 or 6 of these, and then this is just the small stuff coming out. We've got tons of gas engines, prairie tractors. There's going to be a lot of work moving all this stuff, but really fabulous stuff. That is amazing. You see the still got the factory mark on there.
The old stock sign.
That is. Yeah, a little bit of soap and water. That'd clean right up.
After taking down the signs in the shop, they head over to the engine building.
Man, oh man.
There's a few signs in here, but the real showpieces are the antique engines and small tractors. The Powers collection has several small tractors. After a quick look, you might think these tractors were farmer built, but they're not. The collection includes 2 Our Pet tractors built by the Flinchbaugh Manufacturing Company of York, Pennsylvania. These were Flinchbaugh's first traction engine and had enough power to pull a one-bottom plow. The tractors are powered by a 1.5 horsepower, single-cylinder, hopper-cooled gasoline engine. The rarest tractor in the collection has to be the 1910 York tractor. This little tractor is rated at 5 horsepower on the drawbar and 10 horsepower on the belt.
That is really something.
It's a 4-cycle, but it runs either way. So you can reverse all this.
Well,
you can reverse all this stuff and it'll run the other way.
Yeah, that's how it actually reverses, doesn't it?
Yeah, it doesn't have a reverse. It's
no
just,
reverse gear.
Just gears forward.
Because it rotates the cam, doesn't it?
Yeah, there's.
Yeah, what I understood was, you slow it down enough to where it's just about to die, reverse it, and then kick it back
Sort of
up.
like you would do with a T-cycle. I have some 2-cycle motors, same thing.
Right.
It's not the same as the 2-cycle where you just reverse where the spark's going. You have to.
The engine has a 2-cylinder, horizontal, water-cooled gasoline engine. This is the only model of this tractor known to exist. Besides the tractors, there are several antique engines. The most unique looking is the Abenaki, which can be easily recognized by the tall, skinny tanks that sit on top of the engine. The Abenaki was built in Westminster Station, Vermont. The engines first appeared in about 1895, and production continued until 1916 when the company went out of business. It's believed that just a few hundred of these engines of all sizes were built, and it's unknown how many still exist today. Either way, it's a rare piece of American history. It's difficult for the family to see these items go, as they've been part of the collection for so long and a reminder of Dennis's legacy. But soon, a whole new set of owners will be able to preserve and appreciate these items Dennis took a lifetime to collect.
Another addition to the pre-30 sale is this beautiful auto car, 3-ton model. This is a side dump. So the dump actually dumps off both sides. It's actually peaked in the middle, so that way everything will slide right out. Super nice restoration. This actually was restored in California. It actually did work in California. So it kind of went there, and it actually went up to Canada for a little while, and then now it's come down here to be sold. So super nice example. As you can see, the radio that Brian's at over here, it's lots and lots of brass. I mean, really just a nice engine. And they've down here you can see the detail that went into this restoration. I mean, they've got vintage brass hose clamps, the correct red radiator pipe. Everything's polished up. It's just a super nice example. So yeah, maybe we'll take it for a ride here and kind of show you how it works and let it run for a little while. First things first, fuel. So it's got a neat little valve here to turn that on. So we'll turn that all the way on. This is our mag. So we're going to set our advance, throttle, and then choke. See if she'll go. All right, take it for a spin.
The Auto Car Company was founded in 1897 in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, manufacturing automobiles. Truck production began in 1899 and continues to this day with the manufacturing of severe duty trucks. The automobile production ended in 1911 when the company decided to focus on building heavy-duty trucks. Autocar had great success providing vehicles to the United States military. During World War I and World War II, the company supplied a wide variety of trucks and vehicles.
Reverse here.
Where's your backup camera?
Beep, beep, beep. Here we go.
No doubt tell them where your steering wheel's going.
Beep, beep.
I say we run up to Dairy Queen.
Not as rough as you think.
No, it really isn't. I thought them hard rubber tires, this thing would be a brick.
Yeah, no, it actually rides pretty nice.
Feels so weird right at the front of it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's almost like a bus, and you're,
Yep.
In the 1920s, Autocar offered 3 different models, with weight capacity ranging from 1.5 ton to 6 tons. This 1925 Model 27K was owned by the Wilkins Drainage Company of Sacramento, California. It was used as a delivery truck for hauling gravel in the San Joaquin Valley.
I wonder how much rock they would actually haul with this thing. I guess
Ton, maybe. Maybe.
maybe.
There's springs underneath the front axle, or on top of the front axles. They're about that thick.
Yeah, that must be what's. Because honestly, I felt like it would have been a lot rougher running than what it is.
Might be a bit cold climbing out of the quarry in the morning, though.
Right. That's true. There we go.
Next time, we take a trip to North Carolina and unload a unique piece of American history. Back in Iowa, Alex is in the tractor building.
We are in one of the main sheds here. We're actually here to get ready for our pre-30 auction. Dennis Powers, his collection is going to be our featured collection here. And part of what I'm doing today is coming up so we can measure some of this stuff, get photos. You know, we're going to have to haul everything down to our facility down there. So actually we need to go through and measure each piece, height, width, length, width, weight, and kind of go through and make sure we've got everything kind of lined out for our hauling. So we're going to go through and kind of get that information along with a few details here and there on some of the stuff early ahead of time, and then we'll also be taking some photos.